Okay, good morning all. See, in the last class, we have started a new problem. Okay, so for your sake, in order to explain or in order to understand the concept of per unit, that means the concept of single line diagram or the per unit impedance diagram of the given system is clearly explained in this problem. Okay, now you just go through this, and we have left this problem in at the middle stage, right? So just we have chosen some base values. Okay, now this is the problem what I have given you, or what we have started in the last class. Draw the per unit impedance diagram of the following system whose single line diagram is as shown in the figure. Right, now just wait a moment. Right, now this is the case. So draw the per unit impedance diagram for the single line diagram whose for the power system whose single line diagram is given as like this, right? So in this particular case, you will have one generator, two transformers, one transmission line, and completely motor section. Again, in the motor section, you will have two motors. That means completely you can consider this as load section. So before going to start the solution for any problem, first of all, we must choose proper base values for the entire system. So how do we choose the base values? How do we choose the proper base values? I think you will have some doubts. Sir, in this power system, we will have a number of components. So how can we decide that this is the base value or this can be considered as a base value? See, my sincere suggestion is you better to choose proper base values that gives less number of conversions. Less number of conversions. Already I explained with an example also. Okay, now in this case you will clearly understand how we need to choose the base values. Right, now see here, and I told you another important point also, that is if you have two transformers which are connected in series, obviously the secondary winding voltage of the first transformer has been connected to the primary winding of the second transformer. So the secondary voltage must be equal to the primary voltage of the second transformer. That is a very, very important one. See, in this particular case, we are using, or we have considered, the first transformer is completely a three-phase transformer, and the connections are given as star and delta. So 13.2 kV is considered as the voltage with respect to primary, and 115 kV is the voltage with respect to the secondary, and that to star connected side. But when we come to the second transformer, that is made up of with three single phase transformers. Okay, so three single phase transformers connection is completely different from three phase transformer. You please remember this point, right? So but each single phase transformer is having rating of 10 MVA, and the voltage is 12.5 kV and 67 kV. Now this is the total voltage that have been applied to the three single phase transformers connection, right? So now you just clearly see, or you can clearly observe that 12.5 kV is the voltage with respect to delta side. See, you compare the transformer 1 operating voltages and transformer 2 operating voltages, right? See, 13.2 is nearly to 12.5 kV, not 67. Even though if I have given you the ratings, but you need to consider the actual rating of the connection. That depends on the type of connection, whether it is a star connected or delta connected. In this particular case, 67 kV is the voltage with respect to the star connection, and 12.5 kV is the voltage with respect to the delta connection. See, at each and every component, percentage, that means the subtransient reactance have been given, that is expressed in terms of percentages. That means directly you can express per unit values in terms of per units or in terms of percentages also. And in the motor section, you will have two motors which are connected in parallel. The rating of each motor have been clearly mentioned. Okay, now for this entire system, I have chosen the, just wait a moment. Okay, right, now for this particular entire system, we I am going to choose the base values are, now see here, 30 MVA and 13.8 kV. That means the generator ratings are considered as the total base values. Total base values, right? Now see here. This is the first one. First one. We have chosen the proper base values, MVA base and kV base. Now after this, just wait a minute. Right. So what is the next step after choosing the proper base values? Now we are going to determine the operating voltage of the transmission line. The operating voltage of the transmission line. See, what is the need of determining the operating voltage of the transmission line? Why? Because here in the given problem, in the given single line diagram, if you consider the first transformer, the secondary voltage is given as 115 kV. But while coming to the second transformer, you will have 67 kV, that too with respect to star connected side. So both are of different type. But please do remember that second transformer is made up of with three single phase transformers. Obviously, there must be a transformation from star to delta, delta to star. Obviously, you know that, right? So whenever it is made up of with the three single phase transformers, you must consider that as, now you see here. So 67 kV, that what he has given in the problem itself. So 67 multiplied by root 3. This is for total three phase. Total three phase. So if you multiply this one, what you will get? What you will get? So 116.05 kV. Right? Now here I have explained like this. So kV base of the transmission line is equal to, so how can we obtain the common base voltage for the transmission line? So if you clearly see this, what is the actual voltage levels of the first transformer? 13.2 kV by 115 kV. 115 kV. See, this is the first transformation I am going to do here. So first of all, I am converting all the levels of the transformer voltages. Later, I am going to obtain the per unit values for the new base values, right? So this is the actual value that what he has given, 13.2 by 115 kV. So this is of star. This is on delta connected side, and this is on star connected side. See, you need not to consider again root 3 multi. Why? Because this is directly a three-phase transformer. That is the difference between three single-phase transformers and directly a three-phase transformer. But when we consider the three single-phase transformers, obviously you must determine the total three-phase voltage. Okay, so that is a very important point you need to remember here. Now this is the original, old values, So according to the new base values, so already we have chosen 13.8 kV is the new base value. So corresponding voltage you need to determine here. So how can we obtain the corresponding voltage with respect to 13.8? So 13.8 multiplied by 115 divided by 13.2. Now see here. So transmission line operating voltage. So the secondary voltage of the first transformer is nothing but the transmission line operating voltage. So for 13.2, 115, that means 115 kV is the corresponding voltage with respect to secondary side. Now what is the secondary voltage with respect to 13.8 on the primary side? So if you want to obtain this one, obviously you consider this 13.8 divided by 13.2 multiplied by 115. So you will get 120.23 kV. So this is the operating voltage of the transmission line. Now coming to the motor section. So motor section means obviously you are also going to change the values of transformer T2. So T2 is also going to be changed. So see, this is the actual voltages what we has given. So 116.07, sorry, 05 by 12.5 kV. 12.5 kV, right? So this is what he has mentioned in the problem itself. 67 kV, 12.5 kV. So 67, later it has been converted to the three-phase voltage. So that means you will get 116.05 kV by 12.5 kV. So from the first transformer, the secondary voltage or the operating voltage of the transmission line is 120.23 kV. So for 116.05, 12.5 kV is the secondary voltage of the secondary transformer. Now for 120.23. Now if you consider this as the primary voltage of the transformer, now what is the secondary voltage? That is also very important. Okay, so for 116.05, corresponding secondary voltage is given by 12.5, but 120.23, what is the corresponding voltage? Okay, why? Because definitely we must equate the secondary voltage of the first transformer is equal to the primary voltage of the secondary transformer. Obviously we have determined that the total transmission line operating voltage is 120.23. That is the corresponding voltage produced by the first transformer based on the new base values. Okay, so later we are going to determine, or we are going to change the ratings of the secondary transformer also. Why? Because definitely we must equate the secondary voltage of first one for primary voltage of second one. So for 116.05, this is the secondary voltage. Now for 120.23, what is the secondary voltage of this transformer? So 120.23 multiplied by 12.5 divided by this one. So now you will get this one. Now you see here, so kV base of the motor section is given by 12.5. So you need to determine the new operating voltage of the motor section. New operating, why? Because the secondary of the second transformer has been connected to the motor section. So whatever may be the voltage you are getting at the secondary side of the second transformer, that has been applied to the load section. So that is very important. So 120.23, 12.96 is the equivalent voltage that has been produced with respect to the primary voltage of 120.23, right? Now with this, we have determined the conversions. So these are the possible conversions. So these are the possible conversions. These are the possible conversions. So that's why at the beginning of this, I told you that you have to choose proper base values such that which will gives you less number of conversions. Less number of conversions, right? Now, so with all this, again, I have redrawn or the modified version of the original single line diagram. Original single line diagram. So this is the modified version of the original system what he has given. This is the modified version of the original system what he has given. So for the generator, 30 MVA, 13.8 kV and 15%, that's actually what he has given. And we have chosen the generator values or the generator ratings are the base values for the entire system. Okay, later T1. So the rating of the three-phase transformer is 13.5 MVA, and later we have converted the ratings also with respect to the new base value. So now the ratings have been given as 13.8 divided by 120.23. Now transformer T2 total operating voltage is 30 MVA and the primary winding voltage is 120.23, 12.96 kV. Now for this particular single line diagram, we are going to determine the per unit impedances of each and every component. See, whenever the ratings of these primary and secondary are equal, then only you need to determine the per unit values. Up to that, it is not possible to determine the per unit values for the entire section. So that's why first of all we need to do the conversions. Later we are going to again redraw the original system by considering the new values. That means the ratings obtained by considering the new base values, right? Next. Now see here, the reactants are per unit impedances. Now I am going to determine the reactances are per unit impedances of each and every component that have been connected or that have been considered in the single line diagram. So in that aspect, first of all, I am going to give you the formula for determining the per unit impedances, right? Now you see here, already we have obtained the expression that Z per unit mu is equal to. Now you see here. So Z per unit nu is equal to Z per unit old Z per unit nu is equal to Z per unit old multiplied by MVA base new by MVA base old. MVA base old multiplied by, again this has been multiplied by, so this is the formula we are using for this type of problems. Why? Because in the problem itself we has mentioned that 15%. Okay, you don't use the formula that per unit value is equal to actual value by base value. See, he has not mentioned that actual value. Okay, in the problem he has mentioned the subtransient reactance expressed in terms of percentage. So that's why definitely you must consider this formula. How can we obtain the jet per unit, new jet per unit according to the new base values? So you can consider jet per unit old multiplied by MVA base new divided by MVA base old. Okay, multiplied by KV base old KV base old divided by KV base new whole square. So definitely you must please try to understand. You have to remember this formula until the completion of this particular subject. Why? Because later we are using the same conversions and the same analysis for doing the problems based on the fault analysis and the stability also, right? So that is the importance of this one, per unit representations whole square. Now this is the formula. Z per unit new is equal to Z per unit old multiplied by MVA base new divided by MVA base old multiplied by KV base old by KV base new whole square. So this is the formula. So according to this formula, I have determined the new per unit reactance or per unit impedance also. So that can be represented for. So first one is the generator section, and for that generator, obviously we have considered the generator ratings of are the base values for the entire system. So you can directly get 0.15. Or suppose if you are getting some confusion, obviously you have to consider that old base value is equal to 0.15 multiplied by new base MVA 30, old base MVA 30, new base KV 13.8, and old base KV is also 13.8. So obviously you will get 0.15 per unit, right? Okay, now you just remember this formula. Now after generator you will have the next component is transformer. See here I have taken the primary winding voltage and also the secondary winding voltage. You please do remember that. Okay, you can consider any of these two, right? The next one is, so transformer T1, so XT1 new. Now the per unit value of the first transformer. So what is the voltage? What is the old per unit value? He has given 10%. So that's why I have considered this as 0.1. Now the old base value MVA base new is equal to 30, and MVA base old is equal to 35. MVA base old is directly mentioned in the problem itself. Okay, 30 is the new MVA we have chosen. So we have considered. Okay, so that is the difference between the old base MVA and new base MVA. Now 13.2 kV is the old value that is given in the problem itself. Now 13.8 that you have chosen. So base 13 point, this is primary voltage, right? So if you multiply this, obviously you will get 0.078 per unit, etc. Suppose if you want the secondary side, obviously this is the formula. So KV base, so MVA base new is equal to 30, MVA base old is equal to 35, and this is the original voltage you need to consider. Instead of 115, now you are going to consider 116.047. Why? Because that is the voltage you are getting at the primary winding of the secondary transformer. So that is the transmission line voltage, operating voltage, not 115 kV. That is a very, very important point you need to remember here, right? So 116.047 divided by 120.23. So this is as per the new base values, and this is old kV base. So if you multiply, even though if you consider this one, obviously you'll get 0.078. So both are valid. Okay, if you are getting confusion by considering this second step, obviously you please go through this one, no problem at all, right? Now after transformer 1, now again you will have transmission line section. So for transmission line section, he has mentioned that the transmission line impedance is equal to 80 ohms. That is a actual value that what he has given, right? Now you see here transmission line section. So transmission line per unit reactance can be represented with XTR per unit is equal to the actual value. See how, why I am considering this one? Why? Because he has mentioned 80 ohms, not that is expressed in terms of per unit or percentages. So XTR per unit is equal to the actual value by base value. So actual value, what is the actual value and what is the base value? So that you need to determine. Actual value is equal to 80, that what he has given. Now you are going to determine what is the base value. So the base value for the transmission line is given as, see, you are going to consider, please do remember that you are going to consider the old value, KV base old. Okay, so KV base old, and I think you will have the secondary transformer ratings here. These are the old values. So 116 point, so KV base square divided by MVA base. You do not consider that as new values. Okay. So MVA base, and this is the KV base. So MVA base is equal to 30. Obviously, we know that, and 116.047 square. So if you simplify this, you will get 448.89. So this is the base value. Actual value 80 given, and obtained value, base value is given as 448.89. If you consider the ratio of these two, you will get 0.178 per unit. So later, so only for this we are going to consider this one, and remaining all are having the per unit calculations based on the formula just now we have seen. So old base value is equal to, so old per unit value is equal to 0.1, base value 30, MVA base 30, old is also equal to 30, new is also equal to 30. And here KV base old is equal to 116.047 by KV base new is equal to 120.23 whole square. If you simplify that, you will get 0.0932. And now coming to the motor section. So later you will have two motors. Okay, so that I am considering it as XM1, XM2. So XM1 new is equal to 20, I mean 0.2, 20%, that what is given the problem. And now you can consider that as 0.2 multiplied by 30 by 20. So this is the old base, MVA base new, MVA base old. So this is MVA base new, and this is MVA base old. And now KV base old 12.5, KV base new is equal to 12.96 whole square. So if you multiply and if you simplify that, you will get 0.279 per unit. Similarly, you can also obtain the reactance for the second one also. So after obtaining all these cases, all these per unit reactances or per unit impedances, now the problem has not been completed yet. Now we are going to determine the you are also express the values or the rating of the voltage of generator 1, motor 1 and motor 2. For that, you are going to consider a note here. So for any problem, now from this problem onwards, if you are trying to solve any problem in this particular chapter, obviously EG1, EG2, EM1, EM2 can be obtained by considering this formula, actual voltage by base voltage. So similarly, simply you can consider this in this particular problem. 13.8 is the actual voltage of the generator 1. Base voltage already we have considered the generator rating. So that is why 13.8 divided by 13.8, you will get 1 per unit. Similarly, for motor section, for actual value of the motor section is given as 12.5, but as per the new base voltage, that can be converted to 12.96. So if you determine the ratio of those two voltages, you will get 0.965. So EM2 is also exactly similar to that of EM1. Okay, now this is the last conclusion. You are asked to draw this one, and now this is up to here. This is the required information to draw this per unit impedance diagram. So the final step is you are asked to draw the per unit impedance diagram for the given single line diagram. Now, so now see here, the first one is generator section. We are simply replacing the symbols with the equivalent circuits. So generator is replaced with the voltage source in series with the reactance. So you please see here, for every reactance I have written this as J. This is very, very important. Just now these 1.965 or 0.28, whatever it may be, all the reactances are expressed in terms of percentages or per unit. later, if you are substituting the value of the reactance in the per unit impedance diagram, obviously you must consider the J. Please don't neglect and don't forget to write this J. If you simply forget about this J, obviously your problem will not be corrected. So xg1 is equal to J 0.15. So similarly, the transformer is replaced with a single reactance, and the reactance of transmission line, reactance of transformer 2, and motor 1 section, motor 2 section. Now with this, the per unit impedance diagram has been completed. Per unit impedance diagram has been completed. Okay. So I think you will get some idea how to, how to solve a per unit impedance, or how to do the solutions for the problems that what he has given in this particular chapter. Right now, I will show you another problem. You please try to solve the same at your homes. Okay. If not, we will solve it in the next class. So I think as per the new timetable, we will have class on Friday 4th hour. So due to the invigilation, I have adjusted my hour to Sri Madhusudan Garu, MPMC. So you please follow that. And on Saturday, I will take SAR hour along with my hour. So my hour is 4th hour, SAR hour is 2nd hour. So I will take those two classes. So definitely we will complete this problem that now I am going to show you in the next class. Right now, please note this one. So in this case also, you will have one generator, transformer 1, transformer 2, motor section, and the load section. Now in this particular case, you will have transmission line. Original actual value is expressed in terms of complex parameter 200 plus J 500. So this is somewhat different from the previous problems what we have solved. Right now, you please make a note here. See, if you have any problems and if you have any doubts regarding these topics what I am going to teach you in the online sessions, see, my number is already available to you. I think my number is available with you, so please try to make a phone call to clarify your doubts, or just you come to the college. Okay, that's enough. So that's all for today. Remaining we will continue to the next class. See, problems are very, very important. Okay, this is not like signals and systems. Please do practice more number of problems. So this is completely derivative and expressions. So you will have a lot of expressions, and completely this is the derivative part. So don't lose marks under any circumstances.